Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on this video. If you're looking to learn something new, gain some insight, or just get a fresh perspective, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Stepping into a management role can feel really overwhelming, especially since there's no single clear definition of what a manager is supposed to do. If you're a new or recently promoted manager, you might find yourself asking, what exactly is expected of me? Without a shared understanding of what management really means, it's easy to feel a bit lost. So in this video, we're taking a simple approach, just exploring what management actually involves without all the unnecessary jargon. Management includes many important areas like leadership, decision-making, communication, and more. Knowing these helps new managers understand what to focus on and gives a much clearer picture of what being a manager really means. First, we have the levels of management. For example, a team leader might handle scheduling and guiding staff on the floor, while a CEO focuses on company-wide strategy and long-term planning. Next are the activities of management, like setting goals, reviewing performance, managing budgets, or giving feedback to employees. Managers also need to keep up with new trends, such as using AI to automate reports, supporting remote teams, or promoting mental health in the workplace. The roles and duties of a manager can include things like hiring, solving problems between co-workers, leading meetings, or making sure projects finish on time. Behind the scenes, there's management theory, like the idea that people work better when they're motivated, or that good leadership starts with leading by example. To succeed, managers need strong skills and competencies. Think of things like good communication, time management, decision making, and delegation. But there's also a creative side. Creativity and innovation are what help managers improve systems, solve unusual problems, or come up with fresh ways to serve customers. A big part of managing, well, comes down to mindsets. A manager who sees challenges as growth opportunities can motivate their team to stay positive and push through. And finally, we have the management environment, like the culture of the company, the competition in the industry, or even the country's economy. These factors all shape how managers lead. Let's break down the different levels of management and what each level is responsible for. At the frontline level, we have managers who work directly with employees. These are the team leaders, supervisors, and department heads making sure the day-to-day work runs smoothly. They focus on short-term goals, things that might span days or weeks, like handling shift schedules, checking on performance, or solving problems on the spot. Next, we move up to the middle managers. These individuals are a bridge between frontline staff and senior leadership. They guide multiple teams, allocate resources, and help turn the organization's bigger goals into action. Think of people like branch managers or operations managers. They're keeping everything connected and moving forward. At the top, we have the senior managers, also known as top-level executives. These are the decision makers responsible for the overall direction of the company. Their focus is more strategic, setting long-term goals, creating company-wide plans and looking at the big picture, including what's happening in the market and industry. Titles at this level include CEO, Vice President, and Managing Director. Each level plays a different but essential role in the success of the business. And while their responsibilities vary, great organizations make sure that leaders at every level feel empowered to act, lead, and make decisions. What do managers actually do each day? One of the best ways to understand it is to look at the activities that make up the management process. Management is not just a single task. It is a series of connected actions that help guide people and resources toward specific goals. This process helps turn inputs like time, people, and money into valuable results. Let's break it down into 4 main activities that most managers are involved in. First, we have planning. This is all about setting goals and figuring out how to achieve them. For example, a manager might plan how to increase customer satisfaction in the next quarter. Next is organizing. This means arranging people, time, tools, and responsibilities in a way that supports the plan. A good example is assigning team members to specific roles for a product launch. Then, we have motivating. Managers help create a positive work environment where employees feel driven and supported. That could include recognizing hard work, checking in regularly, or celebrating small wins. Finally, there is controlling. This involves tracking progress, comparing actual results to the plan, and making adjustments when needed. For instance, a manager might check monthly performance reports and take action if things are off track. All 4 of these activities play a key role in successful management. And one thing connects them all: decision making. Managers make decisions at every step. They choose goals, assign resources, solve problems, and support their team's growth along the way. Let's talk about one of the most important parts of modern management: how it's changing. Today, the business world moves fast. Laws evolve, technology grows, teams work remotely and across countries. All of this creates new expectations for how managers lead. These are the new trends in management that leaders need to understand. For starters, the workforce itself has changed. It's more diverse and more global than ever. People now expect flexible schedules, open communication, and a work culture where they feel valued and heard. Technology is another big driver. Managers use tools to track progress, manage remote teams, and make faster decisions using real-time data. We've also seen a shift in leadership style. Years ago, it was all about control, giving orders from the top. But now, many successful managers focus on collaboration. They include their teams in planning, encourage creativity, and support open communication. Globalization adds even more to the mix. Managers often need teams that are spread across time zones and cultures. This requires strong communication skills and an understanding of different perspectives. So what does all this mean? Modern managers need to stay flexible, stay creative, and always be ready to adapt. They must lead with both strategy and empathy to meet the challenges of today's workplace. Let's explore the many roles and duties a manager handles in their day-to-day work. Being a manager is not limited to planning or checking performance. In fact, a good manager wears many hats depending on the task and the situation. These roles fall into three main categories. First, we have the interpersonal roles. A manager may act as a figurehead representing the company at official events. As a leader, they guide and motivate the team. And in the liaison role, they maintain key relationships with others both inside and outside the organization. Next are the informational roles. The manager collects important information that affects the team or company. As a disseminator, the manager passes on useful knowledge to others, and as a spokesperson, they speak on behalf of the organization. Finally, we have the decisional roles. A manager acts as an entrepreneur, always looking for new opportunities and ideas. They become a disturbance handler when problems arise. They also serve as a resource allocator, deciding how to use time, money, and staff. And during negotiations, they take the lead to reach fair and productive agreements. Each of these roles needs specific skills, whether it's communication, decision making, or strategy. Some roles are shaped by experience, others benefit from understanding theory. Together, these roles show how dynamic and multi-skilled a good manager really is. Let's take a closer look at the science behind management. The theories that help explain how managers operate and why they make certain decisions. Management theory is built from both real-world experience and academic research. It offers useful models, principles, and insights that can guide action. In simple terms, theory helps us understand the why and practice focus on the how. Historically, there were two major sources of early management thinking. On one side, you had experienced managers like Taylor and Fayol, who developed principles based on what they observed in the workplace. They were focused on things like structure, task efficiency, and control. On the other side, social scientists such as Mayo and McGregor studied people's behavior at work. Their research led to new understandings around motivation, communication, and leadership. As time passed, different approaches to management theory began to emerge. The classical view focused on rules and hierarchy. The human relations approach put people and their needs at the center of attention. Then came systems theory, which viewed organizations as complex and interconnected with their environment. Contingency theory added another layer, suggesting there is no one-size-fits-all solution. The best way to manage depends on the situation. Eventually, management thinking expanded to include everything from HR to operations, marketing, technology, and beyond. In the second half of the 20th century, a new wave of strategic thinkers like Mintzberg, Porter, Peters, and Kantor brought fresh ideas. Their work shifted the focus from just being efficient, doing things right, to being effective or doing the right things. This included creating a clear mission, shaping company culture, leading change, encouraging personal growth, maintaining quality, and building relationships with stakeholders. Two important schools of thought also emerged in strategic theory. One focused on how organizations compete in the external market. That's the competitive positioning view. The other looked inward, leading to what's called the resource-based view, or RBV. The perspective suggests that the most lasting advantages come from within an organization, from its people, knowledge, and strengths. Today, our view of management continues to evolve. Instead of thinking only in terms of departments like finance or HR, many companies now organize around core business processes, things like production, service delivery, or customer fulfillment. This horizontal approach moves away from rigid top-down structures and promotes more flexibility and collaboration across functions. So, while management theory has gone through many changes, one thing is clear. To be effective in today's world, managers need to understand both the theory and the practice, combining insight with action and strategy with adaptability. Let's take a new look at management. It's more than just science. Some parts of management can't be learned from books alone. Many experts believe it's through hands-on experience and real-world practice that managers truly learn how to lead. This approach focuses on practical skills. Great managers know how to see the big picture, work well with people, solve problems, communicate clearly, and use tools efficiently. These skills aren't just taught, they develop through experience. Today, many believe that management is a mix of science, creativity, and hands-on learning. Some techniques can be written down and studied. Others come from experience and personal style. At its best, management blends what we know with what we do. In this part, we look at the art side of management. According to Mintzberg, managing is not always about hard facts or strict procedures. It's about knowing what feels right and acting with insight. Managers often depend on their experience and gut instinct to make decisions. Creativity and innovation play a big role here. Creativity means using imaginative thinking to view problems in new ways. It can help managers come up with fresh solutions or spark change within an organization. Innovation follows from this, leading to new products, better services, or smarter ways of doing things. Kelly and Ashwin describe creativity as producing ideas that are both new and useful. This is powerful in today's fast-changing world. Many successful managers never formally studied management theory, yet through experience they mastered the art of leading. This shows how the creative side of management can be just as important as the scientific side. Every manager brings their own mindset to the job. It's not just about following rules or theories, it's about who they are. Their decisions are shaped by their background, values, culture, and experience. This is called the strategic choice perspective. In simple terms, what a manager chooses to do often depends on how they view the world. Each of us sees life through our own lens, and that personal lens shapes how we think, feel, and act, especially when managing others. The environment plays a big role in how management works. It includes external forces like laws and market conditions and internal ones like staff and structure. Contingency theory reminds us there's no single way to manage. We adapt based on the environment using tools like the PESTEL framework, which stands for political, economic, social, technological, legal, and environmental factors. These forces shape what the business focuses on. They define the challenges managers face, the rules they must follow, and the needs they must meet. When the environment is stable, planning is easier. But when things are uncertain or fast changing, businesses need flexible and quick responses. That's where agile methods come in. Management also happens within the business. Internal and external environments are linked. Decisions made inside affect the outside and vice versa. Now that we understand the environment, let's move on. That's it for now. More videos coming soon. Catch you in the next one.